This is Mogobe Nuggets of Wisdom podcast. We enthuse, we energize, we inspire, and we empower entrepreneurs and entrepreneurs of all stripes in BW and beyond. Hello and welcome to another powerful episode of Mogobe Nuggets of Wisdom podcast. I'm your host, Mompoloki Lerumo Mogobe. I'm as excited as ever. I have a great guest, SCAR, none other, Thato Matlhabaphiri himself. He's going to elaborately introduce himself in greater detail. Let me just do a little bit of housekeeping. First and foremost, strike that notification bell. Please hit that subscribe button. We need it. I'm with a fellow podcaster here. This is our oxygen, guys. Just a like, a simple like, and a mere subscribe is enough to keep us afloat. I've discovered that 2/3 of you watch us without subscribing. 2/3, that's a lot of you. Only 1/3 of you are actually subscribing, and yet the others watch consistently. So we are struggling with these algorithms. We really need it. Let me tell you a little bit about my book, Nuggets of Grit. The book is retailing for $3.99. Here it is, guys. You know about the book. If you mention that you saw it here, you'll of course be given a 10% discount. So 10% discount if you mention that you saw the book being marketed while with the great SCAR himself, who is about to come on. Please welcome, sir, to the studio.
Thank you so much, sir.
Okay. I've been wanting for you to join us for some time.
Yes, sir.
I don't know who reached out. Is it you or it's us?
There was a time where I think maybe last year there was someone from the office who had reached out.
Yeah.
But I wasn't in a position to come here because I seen like the heavy hitters that we have on the show. So luckily someone hit me up, I think last week.
Yeah.
And then I was like, yes, there we go. So finally, and I'm so happy that they hit me up.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Just one or two people in Botswana, just maybe a maximum of two, don't know you. So can you just introduce yourself to those who are out there?
Yes, sir. Well, my name is Thato Matlhabaphiri. I'm popularly known as SCAR. I'm a hip-hop artist coming from Mompoloki. I'm also a broadcaster. I've been on radio for well over 10 years. I just keep getting fired. That's why we ended up with our own podcast. And I've been in the music industry for well over 20 years now. I released my first album in 2002 when I was fresh out of high school, St. Joseph's College.
Okay.
That's why I dropped out of my university degree. I was mastering. I was majoring in economics and population studies.
Yes.
And I disappointed my parents. I dropped out on my 4th year, but I think I had like some experience of what is supposed to happen at college. But yeah, it was because of the music. I was starting to get paid in music. And I didn't see where my economics degree was going to take me.
Yeah.
I'm putting all of my ducks out there so that you know what because I know that you're a brilliant a person when it comes to academics as well. So I'm just laying it out there as well. So that's what brings me here, and I've been lucky enough to be talented in music.
Believe me, to be the position you are in, your economics are working for you.
Definitely. I see where
that degree is working.
No, yeah, I'm perekela, but I just didn't see myself as a banker.
Yeah.
Because that's really what I saw. I thought being a banker, working in statistics, Botswana, maybe research, it wasn't like gelling with music.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Look, podcasting is what brings us together. You're very excited about it. Let's go straight to Podicast.
Yes, sir.
This Pudi, the name.
Yes, sir.
Where does it come from, and what inspired it, and how's the podcast doing?
Podicast comes from back in the day. There was an album by LL Cool J called "The Greatest of All Time." That's where the moniker GOAT comes from.
Yes.
This is now, it's even in business now. People are calling themselves the GOAT in business and all of that. So when we were younger, that's what it meant. And then me and a couple of friends of mine started a clothing label based on your name, GOAT. People of different identities.
Oh.
Yeah, so Pudi became that. It was a big deal. We were very, very innovative in how we approached the music industry. We were selling merchandise as well as doing music. So the clothing label fell by the wayside along the way. All we could do was really T-shirts A lot of us really started brands back in the day, you know. But as luck would have it, you know, it turned into a podcast. And I really don't know how the name came to fit so well. My brother's at a local corner.
Because podcast in English.
Yeah.
You just put an I there.
I just put an I in the middle.
And then Pudi, goat.
Yes, sir.
There's so much. It's so rich with meaning.
Yes, sir.
That it excites me to know. And just tell me the ideation process around it and the basic idea behind the podcast as well.
Yone, what we try to do, because you have to excuse me. That's why I keep drinking all the water. The idea behind the Podicast was because of my broadcasting experience. I saw a gap in that. A lot of what our broadcasters do is they focus mostly on news that's readily available to them. ENCA, News 24. You know, right now, at least you have to subscribe.
Yes.
You know, people are lazy. They are not out there getting stories from the people. You know, and I was big on that. I follow local politics, local music, sports, business.
A little bit of controversy
here and there. But like, you know, I there are so many great stories in Botswana, which were going by the wayside. And I also wanted to be like a bridge between people like yourselves, you know, who have such beautiful stories, the average Botswana, who ultimately does phenomenal things, you know, and you want to bridge that gap so that experience can be passed on to other younger people. So it's not only music, it's all of it. Agriculture,
so it's
all
just
of it.
Social. Is it social entrepreneurship? How would you describe it?
Pretty much. I think. How would I say it though? It's. I see South Africans doing it. They learn from people who came before them. We have this thing in our country where you're going to change everything there. We don't build from the last one. You know,
and yet we seem to forget that.
And that's very hypocritical of us, because that's really what we're all about, learning from others. So I thought, and I saw it work, you know, where people were telling me that, these stories, you know, we didn't know this guy went to a public school just like me. We didn't know this guy didn't have rich parents just like me. So I started seeing that, and it's pretty much what you do also. You know, you do it mostly in the business space as well. You know, but you know,
you're business people, you're entrepreneurs.
Definitely. So I wanted to do that for music and culture. Pretty much urban youth culture in Botswana, to make sure that it can grow and ultimately, you know, put something in the GDP.
All right, let's talk about parental influence, parental background. Tell us who those two people are who brought you to this planet, and tell us about their impact in your life.
My father is an academic. Both of them, I'm influenced, but like because my dad traveled
academic
a lot.
In the sense,
school. He's all about school.
PhD.
He avoided that because he's all about the farm. But he traveled a lot. He's a cartographer. He worked in the Department of Town and Regional Planning. I think they're responsible for what we're seeing right now in the city.
Wow.
The traffic is on it. But you know, he went to school a lot outside when it was still, you know, the thing to do back in the day. And he used to record a lot of current affairs. I really don't understand how.
In what sense?
My father was. Like BBC, what I recorded, like let's say Hard Talk, or even just news. And we had like these VHSs, and you know, they were not big on paying for DSTV. So when he comes back, I'd watch news. A lot of the time we'll have movies as well, but like I knew all about the Gulf War. I was just interested in news and current affairs. So I think that's his influence, because he's all about current affairs. And but you know, I didn't follow suit with the school stuff. But like that's where my interest in what's going on, and I need to be in the know about everything, really. So that's how my dad influenced me into getting into the space. And my mom just she signed my contract when I was 16. You know,
to do what?
To do my first album. I released my album when I was around 17.
Wow.
I released the first hip hop solo album in Botswana. So, Botswana is pretty young, so there's a lot of firsts.
What?
It was called Illegal Act.
Illegal Act.
Yes,
and what's
sir.
it about?
He was a Form 5 kid just putting together rhymes.
Yeah.
But like
And
we
she
had
was
great
very
production.
supportive. Was she like your manager?
No. It was pretty much
Just a guardian.
He was a
and
guardian
son.
because
Yeah.
I wasn't of age to sign the contract. So I think I thank her all my life for doing that because most parents, wouldn't feel like, what is this kid trying to do? But she signed the contract, and then I was on my way to making hip hop history in the country. Yes, sir. So that's our influence. She's one of those people who just goes for what she thinks.
Are there any powerful sayings or memorable sayings from them that you can share?
It's always or he who humbles himself will be exalted. He who exalts himself will be humbled.
Wow.
Stay humble. Yeah. That's all that they
Both of them believe that philosophy.
Very, very much. I mean, to this day, I think that's one of those things that I can pride myself in. My humility has opened so many doors for me. In that, I'm confident in my craft, but I'm a human being first. Yeah, so I think that always, I see it work for me.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
I'm going to ask you about your setbacks and challenges. But before I do, I want to talk first about your triumphs and successes. What would you say the highlight reels, as it were, in this journey so far?
Goodness. Well, apart from the birth of my son in 2010, the major ones have been traveling most of Eastern and Southern Africa. I got to be employed by DSTV. It was Fremantle Media to do Idols East Africa. So I got to travel.
What does that entail?
I was one of the judges.
Uh-huh.
There was another judge from Zambia. There was another judge from Kenya. So we traveled across about 8 countries in East and Southern Africa, and there were queues. Like it's King franchise, the original Idols. So I think the same company that does Idols in South Africa wanted to take it to the continent.
When was this?
It was 2009, 2007. 2008.
Yeah.
It's on YouTube. I'm a big deal.
Yeah. There's no question about that.
Yeah, I got to travel first class. I didn't know all that stuff, business class and stuff across the continent. I got fans all over. I performed on big stages.
And you did that for how long?
I did it for, was it a year? So every week, every Thursday, I'd fly out and come back on every Saturday, because we'll do the filming in different parts, and then most of the production now, when all of the other contestants came through, we're now based in Kenya. So I got to do a lot of traveling. I got to meet such great people, and it opened up my mind to so much. And shout out to Yarn FM. I mean, they kept me employed even though I was leaving and coming back. So it was.
They knew that it benefited them in the long run.
Definitely.
Definitely. Yeah. And any sort of memorable occurrences during those travels, or any spectacular discovery about talent in Africa during that time?
I think it dawned on me how special this place is.
This continent is.
No, Botswana. We are really, really privileged in ways that we don't even know.
Which we take for granted.
We take it for granted. It's a beautiful place. There's a lot of opportunity in Botswana. A lot of opportunity. We are, and I say we, I'm not saying Botswana are. We are very entitled to things that most people, know they have to work for. We have everything from the education. I mean, people will be like, oh my word, you speak so well. I went to Bentham Primary School. But trying, dog. You know what I mean? So it's one of those things. It's like, I know, put us anywhere, we'll flourish. But I don't think we know that about ourselves until we get out of here and realize, like, we are, we're it. So I think that's what I discovered. Or put Botswana somewhere, and they'll
thrive.
They'll thrive
because
definitely.
They have the educational background for
sir.
That. Yeah,
and they can learn. I think sometimes go on or comfort or if I get fired, I can go we're just comfortable, and that's why we never really go for anything.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Now we're talking about highlights. You're just talking about 09. What happened from 09 to now?
Whoa. The liquor levy happened, and the hours happened, where we were not supposed to perform past 2:00. You know.
You mean under the
former
previous, the
administration.
former.
Yes, sir.
Ski was not keen on such things.
And it made no sense. It made no sense why you want to put liquor and club hours together. How does one affect the other one? Stop selling the liquor. Let people go to groove. He killed an entire industry. He took us 10 years back. You know, and we're lucky. Like, some of us are innovative in how we think. You know, shout out to my boys at Local
First
Corner.
of all, how did it affect you? And secondly, how did you survive it?
It killed the whole industry. You can imagine bars close at 12:00, and who's gonna go to a club for 2 hours? And pretty much sometimes clubs don't even close at 12:00. We know how they do. People will chill outside until 1:30. Who's going to pay $100 to get into an event that ends at 2?
Yeah.
And then you have competitions for musicians and artists and whatever. You give them 10,000 pula because you say you're supporting the arts. But then you still close the door. So this person is supposed to use this 10,000 pula for the rest of their lives. So there was a lot of things that we're not able to do. I was lucky in that I had radio, you know. I had a salary from radio. But, you know, it destroyed lives. It destroyed
I know
a
that
lot of
people
lives.
who were running liquor shops, even those snooker guys, you know, they had to recalibrate their business because it was just losing money hand over fist.
Right now, Mogobe looks like Durban. But, okay, because most of it was bars at first, I get.
Yeah.
No, because guys had to close shop. It affected so many people, and I don't know why we never addressed this thing. That one, all right, cool. We're saying this levy was for what exactly?
And what happened?
We still
to it?
don't see it. And these millions that have been dispersed to these NGOs also, you know, tell us. What are we doing with that money? You destroyed lives. Why can't some of it go into your the entertainment industry or
to help the industry
to help the
recover
industry,
faster? Yeah,
build us some facilities.
because after that 10-year period of this hardship, then came COVID.
Then came COVID. The depression in the music industry is just crazy. And, you know, and we're talking about people that were making an honest living. It wasn't like we were selling drugs. You know, it was honest living. People were, you know, people wanted music. We were releasing music. We were out there. We were, even the average, you know, money that you were able to get, people were making a living out of their talents. So I still want to hear, or maybe we need a musician in parliament. I don't know.
So that's that. Then of course COVID came.
Yes, sir.
Some people say COVID was a blessing for them. Some say it was a curse. How was it for you?
Hey, well, I got fired during COVID, and hey, there was a lot of darkness there. We weren't performing. I'm just lucky though that I'm from a tight-knit family. You know, what they have and what they can throw at me, what I can throw at them. So, but like it was, and I had music that
So
I had
Black
recorded.
Text came to
Yeah, Black Text had to come back now. Hey, the investment, ROI.
Yeah.
So I was able to I survived it, but like my ideas about even doing a pod became stronger now because it was like, if I don't do it, then what? If I don't get into betting on myself, then what? You know, we have all of these people who use us to sell their products and stuff like that. What if, you know, I bet on myself? So it gave room for a lot of thinking.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
I can't help noticing you are wearing something written, the fashion gala.
Yes, sir.
With Procter's symbols.
Yes, sir.
How does that come into the picture? What's your involvement there?
BK has been giving me clothes like since he started doing prototypes. He's one of those people that he's a brother in music first, you know, and this is also about like pouring into people. You never know that ultimately one day they'll be in a position to pour into you. You know, when Mike Procter was still doing music, he had a studio, and he called me once, like back in the day, and told me what he has this nephew that he wants to get into the music industry and whatever. Can I come and record with him? It's like, all right, cool, bro. I went there. We've been friends ever since. So 4 years ago, 5 years ago, he started giving me these prototypes, But he's my bro.
Yeah.
I'll just keep rocking them. 4 years later, he's still giving me clothes. I don't know any clothes apart from the BK Procters, from the shoes to the socks to everything else. So I can't say I'm a brand ambassador. I just know that every Monday.
Some people don't know who Procter is. Can you tell them, the viewers?
He's a very, very humble young man who, you know, he realized that the music industry was going backwards. It was collapsing. You know, we're lucky now. You know, your Ben T's of the world, the Vizos, these young kids are helping out a lot. But BK is a young dude who grew up in Francistown as well, and he just
fashion designer, right?
He's a fashion designer, and then he made this apparel, and now it's just catching fire. He just opened a new store also in Palape now. Palape is the BK Procter Helayano, and that's also what is really ingenious about him, in that like he pays attention. You know, all of those lessons from music are starting to pay off now.
Now, the fashion gala, is it a particular event?
It was the fashion gala he had at the Grand Palm. I think he wanted to do more. But like these were the ones that people who were working there were wearing. So he realized that, this is actually really nice. So now they're also on sale right now. So yeah, I just picked these up last week.
And as a general piece of advice as an entrepreneur, what do you say to those who may be listening about collaboration, cooperation, working together?
That's the only way. Yeah, this whole like working in a silo thing, and that's the best decision that I ever made for my podcast. In that, like I collaborated with Local Corner. They had that fellowship. I came with my fellowship as well. They have their technical skills. I have this mouth. and
this brain.
And this brain.
And this brand.
And this brand. So why should I start a new channel? I have no interest in having a network. I know my brothers think about it, having a network. So why don't I become the first program on that network? And in that
so basically plugged in. Yeah,
and we're already plugged in, and also I know what value I can add to what they're already doing. So I think it's not a shortcut. People like calling things that work shortcuts because maybe that's not available to them. But if you have that and you have someone who has a platform, I'm sure Overview Lorna wants to have more people doing programs on there, because I think Joey has an idea about trying to put together a
good friend of mine. He's been on this podcast.
Yes, I saw him also.
Yeah.
I think if we tap into that, if we tap into each other and use whatever fellowship that we have and the skills that we all have, we go way further. I don't even have to buy clothes.
Yeah.
I just have to keep doing my job. I'm dressed.
Yeah.
So
this is great.
Yeah, that's how it works for me.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Let's talk a little bit about setbacks. I mean, obviously you can't get where you are without significant setbacks and challenges. And
yes, sir.
Let's first discuss them and then see how you tackle them. Any significant ones you want to discuss?
Goodness. Well, with advertising, you sign contracts sometimes because you know how the space that we're in works sometimes. I think they have more trust with you because you're already an accomplished businessman. But and then people think that you won't take them to task. We've found ourselves in unfortunate situations where we've advertised something that we've already signed on, and then the powers that be in those corporate settings, and you've already invested your time, you've shot the episodes, and you've branded them, you've done all of this work, and then someone in some office thinks that it's okay just to like put a stop to all of that. And we're at a position, and
has that happened a few times?
It was a big deal. It was once
okay.
Of recent, that's been one of my punches to the gut.
Yeah
I really thought we were about to do something crazy, and disrupt the market, because we are trying to be an option for advertisers. Budget is about mom's nuggets Podicast matata thinking
They just can't accept what Motswana o mongwe is doing. Let's say.
But like, how do you beat that? Because
unfortunately, there's a phenomenon called tsele.
Yeah.
And one of the things I try to teach in my mentorship program is how to wrestle with that phenomenon.
Yeah.
Because the phenomenon exists. Even Ramahan talks about it in his book.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I need to read both those books because it's one of those frustrating things. And then when it keeps recurring, I mean, with personally though, it's that I'm, as a father, I haven't been able to like, be very close with my son because of me and his mom. But like, that's one of those things that I try to tell young guys who are out there.
Are you co-parenting?
It's not. No.
Mm-hmm.
No, we're not.
You've been excluded.
Yes, sir.
So you take that as a setback.
Very big. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Because he's a children. You want the love of your child.
You don't want to go the legal route.
I really didn't want to put him in the middle of all of that like that because of my celebrity.
Yeah.
It was going to end up being messy. Things were going to be said. You know what I mean? But it's something that's always,
Yeah, but perhaps at some level, I mean, I'm speaking now as a lawyer.
Yeah.
It's something that you have rights. You have certain rights.
Yeah.
There's no question about it. I mean, this is consensual. The
Yes,
child
sir.
came consensually.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, so...
You're only one of those setbacks because I think I started acting out of character, social media wise. I think that also,
meaning you started posted.
I started posting some really angry stuff. Like I'm saying, I've talked to young homies now. But like, hey, it's not gonna help you. Just let it go.
Been there, done that.
I've been there, done that. I'm still it didn't help me.
Yeah.
So I try to tell them like, yo, don't put your business out like that, Even talking about it like this, I haven't talked about it in a long time. But because
but
now
you can't sweep it under the rug, can you?
You can't. Because
there's a life involved, so there's a good time at least to make some effort so that he sees that you've taken action to try and solve this problem.
Definitely.
Happy, you never know when these people get a little bit of legal pressure, they can behave. Yeah. Sometimes legal pressure can cause people to get back their senses. So
definitely
free legal advice, but I'll send an invoice anyway.
No, Podicast.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
All right. Now, in terms of a business philosophy, before we talk about digital marketing, would you say you have a business philosophy or an approach to entrepreneurship that you can share with the viewers?
I don't know if consistency is a strategy. All I know is that I'm going to keep shooting these episodes.
That's consistency.
And
no matter what.
No matter what. And I will find diverse ways of bringing stories to Botswana. And then after we've set that there, and now they know every Wednesday, 3:00, this thing is happening, then we'll start working around how we're going to make it lucrative. Because I realize there is a need for a niche marketing in Botswana. You can't just throw things at people. We have the numbers of the people that watch us. So we are very, very focused in that demographic and those people. And we want to supply those people. So I think consistency and focused in our demography.
Which is?
Okay, the basic one is really on a 24 to about 35. And
most of your subscribers.
Those are most of our subscribers, yeah. But like now we're realizing that we can cover Lebon Babako 18 because of how aspirational the program is. We want people that inspire them to become more. So it's trickling down because you'll have Chama Girl the other day as well.
Yes.
And then next thing you'll have Tapelo Lipe on another program.
Yeah.
And then you have Dipsy.
So you have variety.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's really up to us. So when we start focusing on what it is that, who are we serving? Because it's not like we have it down to a T yet.
Yes.
But we're trying to focus.
But part of that unpredictability in terms of not having it to a T is also a plus.
Yeah, it helps.
Because yes, because it raises a sense of curiosity and anticipation.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, but speaking for myself as a fellow podcaster, it certainly helps.
No, guys, I'm looking at all of this. I'm taking it all in.
Yeah, and now let's narrow it down to digital marketing. Is there a strategy? Is there particular platforms you are targeting?
Well, usually we go to the telcos first because they're the ones that look like they got money, but now they're doing their own podcasts. So that's gone.
Don't worry. They won't go far. I mean, I was seeing, I won't mention the name, but I've seen the thing there. It didn't. Where did it go? Don't worry. It's about talent. It's about dedication. It's about the heart.
Yeah. So
sometimes,
I don't know what it is about our private sector that just wants to copy and paste a lot of these adverts from South Africa. Because I mean, I voiced a bunch of campaigns for fast food joints and stuff, and you know, the when we're doing the ads, it's literally copy and paste. And I don't know what the agencies also, their problem is with new approaches. I think when they're having whatever, you know, discussions that they have, how was I retainer outside the services are above the line, below the line, or whatever. They already have radio, newspaper, billboard.
Yes.
You know, no one is listening to radio. No one. I haven't listened to radio in a long time. And I don't really care much, even if they don't play my songs. I'm still gonna be here. You know what I mean? But like,
because the audience has shifted to other media.
Programming doesn't. Who's running home to go watch Santa Barbara? I agree. You have Showmax. Or pause.
Yeah.
Hey, you go for your programming. People go for the things that they want to watch. So, marketing agencies.
It's almost like pay per view.
Pay per view. Yeah. Hulu. Everyone is going towards programming that they can go to when they want to go to. People know okay, Podicast comes out at 3. Okay, I'll wait. I was talking to another homie of ours. They wait for their child, and sometimes his wife even asks him, without me," because they have a certain time that they're gonna watch it together.
Yeah.
They take out the batteries from the remote. Because everyone, you can watch it in your car.
Yeah.
You can. So that's what I'm trying to tell them is like, consider us. We are out here. We're really, really doing the business. And this is not because we can help you get your point across. Yes, sir.
But do you think the mindset change, that the much touted mindset change, is impacting that? Is there a gradual change? Is there hope there? What is your view on this?
I really applaud the president for taking on such a... it's a big task. Yeah, it's huge. But right around the corner from the elections, it's like people are going to keep saying, where is it? It's a big thing. You know what? I think a lot of us need to embrace and really try and tap into it and find out what we can do to better that situation. And I was hoping that by mindset change, we would take some of these policies and whatever that the government is trying to do and put them in the faces of Botswana to show them and get them to be more proactive about going to ask questions about what can be done
this
to
is
help
what
them.
When it started, this is what I thought, because I was in the middle of this podcast when he gave that speech. I thought the Ministry of Entrepreneurship, the Ministry of Industry will now say, look at these wonderful platforms, let's approach them and share what we are doing. Let's deal with it. Let's. But now, just holding back.
But
here and there, some of them will just open a little bit.
Yeah.
But if when it comes to those trips, meeting international businessmen and going to look for business, they send civil servants. Business people are not anywhere in the picture.
But I thought also, like I'm saying, there are things that are available to us in Botswana. They know a lot of us. We need to have conversations.
But since the president planted the idea into the nation, are you seeing some green shoots? Are you seeing some signs that this idea is picking up?
Hey, I love you, Mr. President, but no. I don't see a lot of things changing. Still the same people, still in the same offices. it's a civil service. It's by want you to know what they can make you or break you. You know,
and they're quite happy to do
to
that
show
too.
you or you will how say it, you know. And I think it starts there. Let's stop being jealous of people who are hustling on the street because you have to sit in an office from 8 until 5. We are in a hurry. Hey, hurry permanent and pensionable.
Yeah.
We have no time to waste. But it's not what rubber.
Does it not suggest the results will take much longer to perhaps even the passing of this generation?
Definitely. I'm seeing younger people in your marketing. Have their own little creative agencies. People are trying to get into business more than before. Because of what Boseda are doing. Through Bosani Siriti, we are able to see
and the
these
creation
success
of
stories.
the Ministry of Entrepreneurship,
The Ministry of Bomachili Sayalo. All of these people are people by Lord Kabona or Ba Babotali. Eh, Ganana series Opera Botali. All we want is like, yo, just give us a listen, and we don't want handouts.
Show us some support, some dedication
Definitely
to your work, and be supportive.
Definitely.
Yeah, and we mean what you say and say what you mean.
And do it. And the youth in this country are not all the same, you know. Not everyone wants a handout.
Yeah.
Can I go to hella? And we're tired of my fresh, you know, and pool tables, you know. Majita badi tired bone.
Yeah.
You know, I'm from Mogobe.
Yes.
There's a whole why are we tapping into things like that and finding out what it is that we can do for them instead of these blanket approaches to every single youth in this country? What will disappoint you more if you are listening in a Francistown or Mahalape on a Wednesday afternoon or in the morning is the whole day. Just watching their lives go past them.
Yeah. Just flushing their lives away.
Yeah, we need, like, the council need to approach. Good, it needs to be at a micro level, you know. Hey, yes. And then start talking and having these conversations. That's when we'll have a mindset change.
Hopefully some of them are watching this podcast.
No, they are.
Now, on digital marketing, do you have a particular approach when you talk of the different platforms, LinkedIn, or Instagram, or Snapchat, and so on?
Yeah.
And how do you take advantage of those?
Because of the influencer space, I really didn't even know. Hey, they're out here, like they're really doing that thing. So at least now there is a rate. Yeah, okay. If we're going to have you advertise on our podcast, let's say on a strip ad or whatever, you also have access to our Twitter, our Facebook, our TikTok, which is now running at crazy numbers.
TikTok,
18, 13, 30, and then I think our Facebook level 33, and we're a year old.
Yeah.
And then even our Instagram, like all of these
growing very fast.
Very, very fast. So we incorporate your brand on them as well. So we find like different ways of advertising stuff. I mean, even now we're still taking shots because we got to put our boy on also.
Yes.
So it's, I think by being myself.
What he means is that he's brought his digital marketing guy. He's busy taking pictures. He's all over the place. So it doesn't stop.
It never stops. Every single thing. So we want to make it clear to people, like working with us, we will get it out there. No matter how.
Yeah.
And people just don't like conventional ways of messaging. We find like different ways. That's why they call it the creative industry. Yeah, we find creative ways of having your. I'll
tell you the platforms that challenge me more than it's X. Yeah, it's Snapchat, and it's Threads.
I don't have Threads. we have a digital lady who does it. My lady, she's our line producer also. So we're systematic. I don't have, like, I wouldn't be able to. So she's very systematic in how she posts all of our stuff. But like
timing, frequency.
She knows how to schedule them. She knows what time, all of this, when people are locked in. So we've been very, very successful with that one.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Now let's talk about the musician aspect of you, which was the original deal.
The original sin.
Yeah. Have you abandoned it? or it's still lurking somewhere?
I can go on the radio over now. But I'm a musician forever. A really good one at that. I know there's
But
there's
do you perform?
Yeah, I perform. We filled up a club just recently, Cloud9. There are people who grew up on my music, you know, and then there are some tracks that I do with the younger musicians.
I saw my son come to greet you.
Hey, no.
Yeah, they know where the goat is.
No, they know. I've been in hip hop for a long time. I've won Best Hip Hop at Channel O. You know,
wow, that's huge.
Yeah, against Nigerians and against South Africans. At that point, that's where our hip hop was at in 2006. Now I don't know why we're not competing, but what I do know, because that 10-year gap, we regressed.
Yeah.
Now we are here now copying everything that South Africa does, and they used to
try
copy
to catch
us.
up. Yeah,
they used to copy us. You know, we were on another level as far as our hip hop is concerned. So I know.
If only politicians can see the damage they can do. Sometimes they'll be more reflective before they take policies. They change things.
I think our politicians really need to stop thinking they're celebrities. You know, I have utmost respect for them. You know, but like I think this popularity thing is it beats work. You know, I think maybe more permanent secretaries should be ministers and stuff, because I don't know if. I
think one of the suggestions that came out during the constitutional reform process was that let's elect our president. A lot of Botswana are pushing for that, and let's separate MPs from the executive. In other words, let's have executive ministers like it happens in America. I know those suggestions were being made, but somehow they were not adopted.
Because. And then what? You know, I think sometimes we're just so slow in implementing things that we see are not working. You know what I mean? And so I just wish that they would concentrate on trying to learn, especially ministers, learn portfolio space, and help. We need to see a difference when you leave.
I want to take you to the music thing.
Yes, sir.
How do you propose to take it further? What's the next step on the music front?
Well, I've recorded a joint album with another producer, friend of mine called Bangu. Bangu Matenge, and another boy, Hatibuti. He's the one who produces. He's also now, you know, frequenting South Africa with his productions, because I think that's the goal these days. But like, I'm making music.
So we can expect an album?
We should.
This year or next year?
Next year.
Okay.
Right now,
you heard it here first.
Because I make music with my lady as well. We have a song coming out. She says next week. So anytime now, and it's a beautiful one. She's a Yama Bomu nominated artist. She's amazing at what she does. But like, I'm not inspired to go on tour and stuff. I'm 40 this year, so I mean it's all here. So I'm tired of traveling. Like there's nothing worse than sitting in a combi. Wago Francis Town and which I'm gonna be here for the next 4 hours just sitting here. So and we did it for years.
A flight.
Well, you can take a flight, but still,
you need to bring your crew along. Yeah.
You have to bring your people with. So
you can't pay for all of them. Yeah.
I watch them on social media. The young guys just excited. The one person who still doesn't get tired of it is Mampizi. But like, because we started around the same time, he's a friend, and I don't know how he does it. He's on a tour now.
ATI or
but I think it comes with the passion also. But because I'm a broadcaster and I have such a strong opinion, I ruffle a lot of feathers, and I really don't care much, because like, I've realized something about Botswana is that if you pay attention to people buying what about you're wasting your time. So I'm very opinionated, and some people find that I'm trying to occupy space where they think this is my space. No, this is my country also. We occupy space.
So in other words, from what I understand, you will release the music.
Yes, sir.
But you're not worried about the money side for now.
Not at all. I mean, I release really good music, but I don't see myself on these charts. I saw one song recently, but I don't listen, to the radio that much. So I love music. I can help through my podcast.
Okay.
To put people in a position.
Someone, when I told them that I'm interviewing you for a podcast, they said, those guys are controversial. So is there any controversy there? Is there any kind of podcast that sparked a lot of noise?
Not even. I think the only controversy that they might be talking about is, my relationship with my former employer. Because, like I say, I don't...
Namely...
Yarn FM, but I have the station manager on my WhatsApps. I ask him for advice. So, like, when I talk...
Why is the controversy there?
Because people talk about the experiences. CD bad sometimes when you
when you bring them in as guests,
but people are telling that truth. So I'm not a shock jock. I've never seen it. Even Howard Stern lost.
You're not
his
a
job.
shock jock.
I'm not.
Even him, he lost.
No, I'm not a shock jock.
Stepping on toes, clickbaiting, everybody getting
I don't like that, because I know I wouldn't want that done to me also. So a lot of people come in there. What I can say is that, because we're not covered by Procter, right of response because I have a system. But sometimes, even when you give people an opportunity to come and refute some things that are said about them, then they want you to beg them and follow them around, and I'm like, but I don't know if there's been any controversy. So we haven't done anything.
No, so they're just talking about one particular incident.
Maybe it was controversial to them. Maybe stop doing things to people.
We
won't talk about you. Because especially have a media.
People are interested in Zaga, and we when we were on Instagram, we mentioned we'll talk about Zaga. I want to just open it to you in terms of the prospects for substantial financial success.
Yes, sir.
Where do you see it, and what's your approach? If you had to advise someone, what would you say?
We all don't know where this thing is going. These parts are going. But they're moving, I'm very observant about the ones outside of Botswana. They call it new media in the States. Athletes are talking sports now. As a sports commentator, what are you going to talk about? You've never been in that field, so they're going to listen to the guy who's actually done it.
Been there, done that.
Been there, done that. So what is it that you're good at? Try find that and start growing from there. You can monetize almost anything. People are monetizing everything out here, but also just watch out for the hole that is social media before you mess up your money also. Because I've been a victim of that. I've messed up my money.
We keep spending, and it's not clear what you're getting back.
It's not coming back. So I'm just saying, focus on what you're good at. I'm good at telling stories. My brothers are really, really good at shooting. I'm good at creating the content. So I know they're going to come. They're definitely going to come. Our last interview was 15,000 views, and how many are we on now? People are watching. So we know, okay, cool. This model of how we get our guests and how we're going to expand in what we're doing. And we're knocking on doors. We're not just having a show.
No.
We do proposals. Use Canva.
Use Canva.
Use Canva if you have to. Make your proposals look nice. I've seen other people's proposals out here. Guys, come on.
This is not a proposal.
Hey,
use AI, man.
Oh, come on. And AI, what I want
You can tell.
So, and learn AI. Learn AI. Learn AI, because but you have to edit, my man. Don't.
Just to be relevant.
Make sure that you're talking to whoever it is. Show them how you can help them, and be specific about how it is. And something that I learned from our past guest, Marang, Silolwan, she was talking about your return on investment. You have to, ask them what they want.
Yeah.
What is it that they want help
even,
with?
Even my past guest, Kwano, he's been here also. Yeah.
What do you want with it? Like, okay, what do you want to get? Do you want to get visibility? Do you want sales? Do you want people coming in through the door?
Yeah.
What are you looking
Precisely
for?
what you're looking for.
So that ROI are clear.
Yeah.
So no, dear the designer.
Yeah.
Let I want to like it's a wave, yeah, no.
Yeah. So to that, I think you have to add the importance of discipline and consistency to get to the Zaga. The Zaga will follow those two.
Definitely. I'm realizing it now that a year ago we didn't have a single episode out right now. And I wasn't doing music like I was anymore. Now the 8 years of this world, now the Visos of this world are killing it. Each week my 80-something hair, my 84.
Yeah.
And then we started doing these pods. Now I'm able to now access the fellas like Lerumo. Good, now people are recognizing me again.
Exactly.
It's like, what just happened?
Yeah.
And for someone who's been famous before, it's like a second coming.
Yeah.
But now I know what to do with it. So I'm a very, very dangerous person right now for this.
Yeah. Now, it's a good time to talk about the future now.
Yes, sir.
What I mean by that is even a couple of decades down the line.
Yes, sir.
Do you ever project that far? And if you do, what can you share with us?
Well, I'm going to marry my lady. That one has to happen. Hey?
It has to happen.
Yeah, that
It's
one
a
really
must.
has to happen because she's been my pillar of strength for these couple of years now. So that's the first thing, and have our babies and stuff. That's my projection there. But we're gonna be a force in broadcasting. It doesn't only stop here. If they want us on their radios as well, we can work there. If they want us on their TVs, we can work there. But the Podicast is here to stay. So we're ultimately going to grow in the content that we deliver. Your more current affairs things as well.
Is it just about getting more subscribers and followers, or there's a lot more to it than that?
Advertising. Because YouTube, I get higher than
So that's why I want you to paint a picture of what we can foresee in a decade or two.
Oh. Look how Connor will have their own studios.
Yeah.
We will reach Africa and hopefully the world with our pod, because we are multifaceted in what we do. I just want an opportunity, God willing, to give some of the skills that I have and also what I have like planned for the show to play out. So who knows? We'll either have a TV station. You never really know because pay TV is now a thing. Bofinet hopefully it'll be really the price, and people will be able
right now
to.
it's prohibitive now.
Like all the time when we are in these meetings, if you guys don't change these rates, then we're gonna have a hard time trying to, because all these kids are on social media. And they have followers. They could easily be doing business for themselves. So we pray for lower rates for internet, and then we're definitely gonna have an entertainment channel for sure. But a streaming service.
Wow.
Because we are interested in more than just entertainment, and there's other things that we want to do.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
And in terms of presence in other parts of Africa, I think your experience with that show, what do you call it? Idols.
Yes, sir.
Has taught you that there's a lot of market to conquer there.
There's a whole lot, and Batswana were cool. So with Africa, because I know some of the entertainers, and we're lucky enough for once the platform becomes that, because I haven't opened it up to South Africans yet.
Why? But have you blocked it?
That pretty famous stuff, but like something in my head just said, why though? Why can't we have something that's exclusively for Botswana for now?
Why? Because I don't think that's a good
idea.
idea.
I'm not saying anyone who interviews.
Actually, they are consumers. We consume all their stuff. Why can't they consume ours?
No. I'll leave that to TK and Mr. Mogobe and Joey. As a musician, I just think there's never been anything that has been exclusively for Botswana. Take on the idea, because once we get them,
but
also
you realize that 4 to 5 million Botswana in South Africa.
I understand, and I have friends. I love South
Who
Africa.
are South Africans?
I love South Africa, but I love Botswana more. I just think there is
The
an
same
imbalance
people.
here.
It's just an act by colonialists. I mean, remember there was British Bechuanaland,
I know.
which was just made through some crazy means. British Bechuanaland, Botswana, but it just happens to be in South Africa. So why should you deny those people? If I'm trying to persuade you to reconsider,
No.
will you at least reconsider?
After 100 episodes. After it hits 100 episodes, that's when we will
How
open
far
up.
are you from that?
We're on 52 now.
Oh, okay.
51. And so, like...
No, it won't take
Okay,
long.
Mr.
'cause
Mogobe,
now-
you know what my problem is? Reboots. Reboots are wakwano. And the economy tsa bona. You know? It's really difficult, especially even as a musician. Maybe as a business person, I don't know. You know, but like as a musician, they don't play our music. Just like with Nigeria doesn't play their music. People are protective of
they
their...
play Botswana music. They used to love
Motsweding.
Motsweding.
I can get a traditional dance. The dancers, we interview Kabelo Mokwe. Some of the dances that they have ultimately make their own cruise there by South Africa. And then it's not fair. There's an imbalance.
There's an imbalance.
We don't play on our radio shows. I mean, there's a list.
Actually, whenever they are angry that we are blocking the merojo and stuff, and they might think we are retaliating or something.
Yes, go MEK. I've never seen so many people sell eggs like this. So, blocking. I think we need to be protective of our space, of our airwaves, of our eyes. I think no one is protecting the domestic market, and it goes for everything here. You know, some of these projects that are happening, and you're into construction. Some of these projects, what do these skills trading and whatever, from like the Chinese homies to Botswana. Next time, next time, so we can see this play. It's just, and they don't reciprocate. We are not playing on Metro. Why are we playing them on Yarona? Why are we playing them on Duma FM? Why are we getting these charts that come out from Cosbots, and then you see South Africa got most of the money. Rona, you know, why? Why can't you protect what's yours?
Yeah, and push it
and promote it and promote bana ba mogae. I don't know what it is. It's like guys just don't want their own to flourish. They would rather give it to SA. And I'm not just saying that because like I have a hate for South Africa. I love SA. But I'm from here. And I'm going to make sure that the people here are going to thrive.
I can see your reasoning. Sir. I can see the logic that, that you are applying here.
Yes, sir.
Now, this is the part of the show where you get to ask me a question, sir, as we get ready to wrap up. Do you have one for me?
There's a building, Kaku Main Mall. I just realized it was yours. I think it's next to like the courthouse or something.
Yeah, it's called. We call it Mogobe Office Park. There are actually two buildings. There's a space in between there.
I'm always intrigued about like how do you build a place there? How did you get to do that?
Because it's like there's a long story. I actually share it in the book, but let me just make it short. When I completed in '87, Go UB, that was my first place of employment. That same building.
Okay.
And I was a young lawyer. I worked there for 4 years. Out of those 4 years, I went overseas to do my master's. So it's my place. But I've been growing the real estate space over a period of time. But I received a phone call, I think it was 2017, from Terence Dambe. Terence Dambe happens to be the lawyer that I invited into the law firm so that I can go overseas to do my master's.
Oh, okay.
So we've been friends, we've been colleagues. So he's now saying to me, Momp, we're moving to the CBD. We need some substantial amount of money. Are you interested in this building? Opportunity. And then we met, we discussed, and I bought the building from from
always,
them with the help of Standard Chartered Bank.
It always intrigues me, like, but like you are in this space for real, because we think this building only. But where else are you? Like, where else do you have property?
No, we've been fortunate to have a presence in Gaborone and surrounding areas, and to also be in Mahung and a little bit in Kanye. So we're across the country, and we are growing.
Wow.
Because we're heading towards 400 units, and we want to keep growing.
And you're still doing this podcast?
Yeah, no, this podcast is only on Thursday. It's only on Thursday. Hey.
I have a lot for you, so you're gonna have to come to our podcast.
No, I'll be more than happy.
Because like just the managing of it all, like how organizational, like
before you invite me, read my book first.
Definitely.
Read my book first, because it will make the conversation much more interesting. When I was with Joey, I hadn't read the book, so we're waffling all over the place. But if we read the book, it's more focused. Yeah, it's more focused.
No, I'll make sure that I was at 10% to 360.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Now, take a look at that camera, the one in the middle.
Yes, sir.
And share with the viewer a few words of wisdom as we wrap up, something to take away, as it were, from this conversation, and generally something.
Hey, it's profound. Hey, the crazy thing about being a talented person is that people bet on you to be lazy, because things come easy for you, when things come easy for you, that's actually a sign for you to work harder at them and be more diligent with it. My talent is rapping, and I make sure that every time it's called upon, I want to be spider web. I can spit bars right now in my sleep because
can you give us a little bit now?
Well, I wake up in the morning, just finished performing, got her back to smoke, and a couple girls to call in. Music's for the touring. For sure, it's never boring. Trying to do it big. I'm trying to be enormous. Trying to build forests, get myself a bed of forex. Have 1 million chicks from the richest to the poorest. Flowers like a florist. Yeah, I'm blazing up a chorus. Keep my nerves calm up until I hear the chorus.
Hey, those were rhymes, man. Those are cool rhymes. Okay.
But that's what I'm saying. Like, you have to harness whatever God gave you. Because the and pray, man. Have some spirituality in your life, because when you are confused and you don't know what to do, just close your eyes and pray.
Yeah. Now, can you, as we conclude, share all your contacts, social media and elsewhere, including all your handles and stuff?
Okay. On TikTok, I don't know, Kiri a Podicast with SCAR. Because the dialogue, Lebadi TikTok, Lebadi TikTok, Lebadi TikTok. And then there's also Lebadi Gramo on Instagram. But on Facebook, it's Thato Matlhabaphiri.
It's all Lebadi something.
Lebadi TikTok, Lebadi TikTok. And then on X, I'm SCAR_BW. I'm really trying to streamline. Toto I wanna 84. But for all of them. So yeah, that's where I'm at. And you can follow, and we can always have a conversation. And I'm not controversial, guys. I'm a really easygoing guy.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
And physical address, if people want to engage you or professionally.
P.O. Box 20047 Pontlane.
Yeah, I was talking in terms of a physical place where you work.
Oh, me? No, I'm on these streets.
You're in the streets.
CBD Ghana. Ina le cappuccino machine, ina le printer go charge le ko madinga thing. So the rent was never the same.
Yeah.
I'm never doing that again.
That's why you must come to Mogobe Plaza and look for a much more predictable rent.
Yeah, because I was like, what is going on here? And it was like a South African company. Rent that I change every month.
Yeah.
So I get out more.
I know the company. I won't mention it. Starts with an R. Because of such things. Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much, sir.
Yeah. All right. Cheers.